Audio test complete. Let's have a look, see what happens. So, as probably everyone has already gone over, names and apparently titles, like Big Money Man of Wardrobe regular Stephanie, the faithful Seaside Superfan Yarwal, the Southpaw champion, the Gen Ringleader. So it seems, well obviously, it's going to be pretty obvious that we're going to be unlocking titles of some form. And it seems like we can customize a card to like, start on the side of the screen, which is going to be very interesting to see how that plays in ranked, if that like shows what weapon that they, well it's not showing what weapon, but maybe what rank they could be, since this is just Turf and Eeltail Alley. Seems like we'll be able to maybe find another use for money to maybe buy backgrounds, because this background and this background, the background for Veronica and the background for Taco Truck are both very similar. And of course, just solid backgrounds as well. Also do have the numbers down at the bottom, which could be very interesting. So maybe we won't have to join via friend codes, and instead we could find a user matching the name and matching the number, which would be really cool and a very much need change. But I do like the zoom in now. It's more, instead of like slowly going into the middle of the map, we actually start from the middle and pan out, and I think that's a really cool change. Here we go. That's those are some cursed eyes, holy shit. We've got Bow, Shot, Octobrush, Slosher sporting a new color scheme. Also the gear just looking great as usual. On the purple team we've got Charger, a Roller, a 52 and V-Pro. Seems like V-Pro is keeping its design. This may be a custom gal because of the sticker, but I doubt that. Roller's looking good, Charger's looking good, gear is looking amazing per usual. Coffee machines doing their thing. Oh, there's actually a small animation. We can see that from their pose right here, they actually jump into the coffee machine, or at least get absorbed into it somehow. They just shrink. No squid, it's just shrink into coffee machine. But you can see that someone's landing, two people are landing short, we seem to be landing long. I don't know where Stephanie is landing, presume Stephanie. Yeah, there we go. But now we're landing short. It's good to see that that's all moving around. Fuck. And look at that glow on everyone. And look at that animation. That is armor. So you get about 3 seconds of armor when you jump back in, which will stop spawn camping a little bit, that if you pile the damage, that's still going to be enough. You also see that auto cam color has changed from orange to pink. Nothing of note, it's just that there's a color change, that's cool. Okay, next let's talk about UI. Now, because this is probably the first match, this X map button's always here. Don't mind the map button at all. Unfortunately, we are still stuck with only 2 callout options, being this way and Booyah. They really need to add more. The battle UI, I don't like at all. That is just a block. There is no style here. These are all very block-like as well, so I'm hoping this is early builds, because I don't like it at all. Points turfed hasn't changed, which is very good. I don't mind the little sub icon. That actually looks kind of cool, in my opinion. And with the special charge bar being segmented, I'm very interested, because I think people counted and it's like 23 or some odd number that doesn't make math easy. But I do think this entire thing needs to be a bit larger. We do have a bit more real estate over here. This could just be a spectator thing as well. Anyways, we're off. We can see that V-Shot, the vanilla shot, is going to start with Suction and Trizuka, which I think is going to be an amazing kit for it, honestly. Suction Bomb's a little ink heavy, so, and of course I couldn't give it Splat Bomb because that's reserved for T-Tech. Also, confirmation that sponges are going to be back, so good to see some single player movements. Pillows are here as well, is always a good thing. A very clean switch from Spectator Cam, honestly. Whoa, wait, we actually do see a bit of UI. That was a manual switch. Yeah, we do see the manual switch coming out, as we can see. icons, we see the D-pad directions, buttons. Just something I thought was cool. Very clean pan over as well to the gal who is about to charge their killer whale. Oh! Small feature. You can see where people have died. That's cool. And that's an animation on the X. Well, that X animation is sick. So if we go back enough, let's go back 5 seconds. We can see Slosh dies up on bridge. This is the opposing Slosh. And X. That's also, you can also see it marked as well. Bam. There's no marker here. That's your kill. Oh, that's actually a sick bit of information. That's actually really cool. I like that. Getting shot at by probably the opposing 52. They'll probably be one of them. You can see Pro has got a microphone as their sub and Crab Tank. You can see they're throwing something. They're chained. And they just get lit up by the Trizuka. Very interesting change to the sub. I don't know, we obviously don't know what it does. I think it might be a nerf disruptor from Splat 1. Like nerfed and buffed at the same time, so it gets the point sensor buff, but you're chained to it, and it might drain a little bit of ink and not lower movement speed. That's an option. Anyways. We can see very good throw, that's chained, and that's visible to everyone. Are we able to see anything on the frame by frame? Now you'll just be able to see the chain, and that is either doing damage or straining ink. Anyways, must say, very good shark by the shot here. This is just beautiful hit. Anyways, let's talk about this. The YouTube player is covering it up a little bit, but UI is UI. I like it. It's very cool. I guess it's more, because what, Splat 1's is rounded rectangles. This is blocked, and it's got differences. That's cool. That's just a dumb play by the freaking, is that the bow user, or is that the gal? That was the gal. Very dumb play by the gal there. They just jumped straight into the Trizuka shot. Anyways. Trizuka, notably, does not paint your feet. And does not paint anywhere else. Could be a problem. Especially if you're trying to use it as a panic button. Good thing. Shot's gonna run here. We see Charger. They've got the glow and the laser. And then you see Roller coming up here. V-Roller has Big Bubbler? That's not a good build. That's not a good build. That is not a good kit. Holy shit, that's not good. That's like Crack-On having freaking Beacon Baller. It's not a good at the moment. Anyways, Shot decides to fire at the Big Bubbler and run straight into the Charger's laser. Not a very advised play, in my opinion. Don't do this. Here we can see the Charger's gear, which has been submitted to Bad Splatoon builds on Twitter and has been featured, so don't worry about that. As you can see, this is Calamar, the attention-seeking base dropper, with you can see that number and everything, which is cool. But a thing I noticed, the respawn bar fills up. That's a cool little addition. Anyways, we see the Charger is going to start with Splat Bomb and Vacuum from Luigi's Mansion. We don't know what the Vacuum does yet. And as we can see, this is a very... Oh, that's too far, sorry. I wanted to talk about, I believe that's the Gal's movement into the sponge. Yeah, this is... Oh, sorry, that's V-Pro. This is very poor sponge movement. It's not very good. It's going to take a while. Anyways, we see the roller has died up in front. These X's are going to be super useful because I don't think there's any reason to say ouch anymore. In fact, we might... You can still say ouch, but there just might not be a reason to say it because you've got your X still. It will have its uses for sure. Oh, the X doesn't last very long. Okay, maybe it will. Anyways, we see a vacuum happening. That I don't... It's sucking up something. And it shot an electric projectile that... What the fuck is this weapon? What the fuck is this special? It's sucking up... Is it sucking up Heroes Inc. tank? We don't know what it's sucking, which is the main problem, I think. There's a death above him, and a fucking bow shot barely goes by. Barely goes by our vacuum use, as we can see. Pew! There we go. The bow shoots firecrackers, apparently, that explode with ink. So if I had to guess, each cracker will do 30 damage, with the explosion doing like maybe 10. Just a random guess. And yeah, that's just deadly. Killer Whale is now ready for the bow user. Bow's going to start out with Toxic Mist, so that returns. And Whale 5.1. Very good kill. And in Seems of Charger v Bow, Charger just wins if they hit the shot. Bow does seem to have about the same range, which is always good to know. Anyways, we switch over to the O-Brush, which is starting out with Suction Bomb and Zipcaster. I believe they pop it now, yep. We see a better information of the Zipcaster's landing spot, which is very cool design, honestly. Very ninja-esque. Anyways, we see Zipcaster over to O-Brush, and we're just going over to this corner for no reason. See, O-Brush not really being much help the team right now. As we see, V-Pro gets Crab Tank and gets in position away from the bow, which is really good. Bow and Tank. Bow and Tanks need to have about the same range, Bow probably being a little bit further, which is going to be very interesting. So Bow is going to seem very strong, especially against Tank. Crab is not... Oh, Crab is able to find the second pick. Also, we have to see the damage. It's just straight circ, just like, you know, straight blobs as compared to Splat 2's progressive ink. This is very defined, so it's probably help visibility reasons. Crab just disappears. Very good pick on the bridge. It'll help him gain mid. We can see people jumping back in as well. If you look at the top up here, there's the respawn and there's the shoot-in. You can see that they have armor as well. Then the bow holder charge. What was that? I think the bow, oh, those are the bow's tap shots, and it didn't really do much of anything. Anyways, we're gonna go over to the Gal side, who starts with Wall and Whale, which is very worrying, as K52 is still very prevalent. Whale follows you. Very interesting. Slosher V-Slosh starts with Splat Bomb and triple, as we see, Ink Strikes. Very good kill up there. Ink Strike, of course, since Ink Strike was thrown up top, it is not going to go through and kill the guy beneath bridge, because it was too early. We're like threes in this game, huh? Oh, never mind, it did. Great double here by the Slosh, who's playing Bucket very slowly, not using a full fire rate. Does Bow have 2 charging phases? So Bow has 2 charging phases, it sounds like the heavy, probably for distance reasons. And as you see, we can shoot the shield and it goes smaller. Here comes V-Pro. They missed their 2 grapple things, which is not good for them, as they see their roller has died. The shield. Yeah, it's doing very minimal damage. Charges. Maybe 0 damage, who knows. Anyways, great play by the 52. Oh, by the shot, sorry. As we can see, oh, double Squid Surge into Squid Surge, and that's he's got outplayed. The Whale is going off as well at nobody on bridge. Does not get the pick. Here comes the O-Brush's Zipcaster. Decides to not get the pick on the Charger, who was clearly not aware, so that's misplay. That looked like a drop, that was weird. Here comes a Whale again. Great Squid Surges. Doesn't seem to use any percent of the tank. Here comes the Vacuum again. Vacuum absorbs bullets from the opponents. We have learned what the Vacuum does. We hear. And that seems to be fueling it. That is just death for our poor shot player, unfortunately. And we do see the Curling Bomb coming out for the roller just over here. Great Curling Bomb. Disrupts. That's just... Oh my god, roller barely misses his shot. Yo, Avian, it has been a bit. Welcome back. Unfortunate roller just missing the shots there. What the fuck was... Oh, that bow just died. And as we can see, there is a bit of end lag here for whatever reason. They just glide for no reason. Anyways. Here we see Judd and Mini Judd. Judd looking a bit more unkept, and Mini Judd I've seen comparisons to being a lychee fruit. Anyways, he's also looking a bit sunburnt as well. Great winning screen. That might be a new... is probably a brand. That might be a brand. I think this is a band. That's a consistent logo across the style. Judd seems to be facing a bit angled. Like he's a bit angled away from the camera, looking left, like going that way-ish. Damn, straight tail. We can see that is a very fuzzy tail. This could also be linked to the fuzzy ink thing that's happening in the Hero mode, but we'll find out about that later, I guess. Boom. New thing straight away. Medals. #1 overall splatter, #1 popular target, #1 enemy splatter. #1 overall splatter probably is just the highest kills in the lobby. That would make sense to me. Popular target, probably the one who either died the most or got shot at or took the most damage. #1 enemy splatter is team-based. We can see the bucket just spin, which I think is really cool victory animation. It just goes spin. It just goes spin. I believe we saw the O-Brush user slide in on the O-Brush. Let's see what their animation is like. Let's see. They bring it down. They do a full spin. Ah, yes, the full... Ah, yeah, right, they do the full twirl animation as shown on Twitter. Shot seems to be doing some flips. Shot getting absolute air. My god. Let's see what the bows is. Bow does has a separate animation to charges, so they will be separate main weapons, which is very good to see. Great screen, very screenshot worthy. This is very easy thumbnails for all Splatoon YouTubers in the coming years. And that's the trailer. Oh, we can see the... Looking over here, we can see all the coffee machines flying in. So they all go into mid before going to their base. And yeah, we saw that would be, I guess, our bow player. At last second, you can see cursor, found it. So there do seem to be places that you can only jump to through the use of the coffee machines, and that's going to be really good for trying to get out of spawn, especially if they don't have a long range weapon. It's just going against quad shooter meta, because you know, as you do. We go across here. Gal has already built up their freaking special at what seems to be 190 charge. It does seem to be 190 charge, which is concerning, which means Splat 3 Gal might have Splat 2 Gal's pain output, considering that was the first 14 seconds. Only a slight worry. Anyways, they decide to not use it for whatever reason, but they just managed to pick up a kill because it's 52. We go back to see this chain thing. We still don't know what it does, but all we know is that it puts point sensor on them and it gives away your position. And then you die to a Trizuka. Also, you get more of a bird's eye view when you go out, when you die to them. That's pretty cool, I think. So we need to learn more about this vacuum. Ah, yeah, so they're absorbing the Slosh's shots. You can actually hear it quite well. You hear the blop blop. And then, of course, getting progressively more and more as the more shots you fill up. This could actually be really cool in Rainmaker. If you could just absorb all the shots that are going into the shield. That could be a pretty cool thing. We see Zipcaster going off. Oh! So each time you zip with the caster, watch the special gauge. So we see activation, zip, zip. It uses a certain amount of the gauge each time you want to zip with it. And then each use of the main weapon also uses that. So it's probably ink tank duration based. Probably a mix of both, honestly. That's pretty cool. That does sound very similar to Inkjet's pack exploding, but anyways. Probably just the same rhythm. Oh! False fall! We got false falling. Watch vacuum charger. Watch him up here. Whoop! False fall! This has me worried for Splatoon's netcode. And that's the trailer. I've gone over it, I feel like, enough. Imagine if Mini Judd's the villain of the story mode.